My name's Jack Shuttleworth. I'm the project manager from SEL Environmental for the installation of the Living Lab at Salford University, Phase 1 and Phase 2. So today I'm just going to talk you through the innovative technologies and systems that we've installed at Salford University as part of the Phase 1 rain garden. We have a prefabricated raised deck, which is a permeable deck, so the rainfall permeates through into the existing ground. So we have 6 raised planters and 3 sunken planters, all of which are hydraulically linked and water managed. So in each of the planters we have an 85mm reservoir of water beneath the soil. So we have some nice edible planting in the raised planters and some nice planting in the sunken planters, all of which are consistent to allow for testing. In all of the planters we have soil moisture sensors and water level monitors, so we can always know the conditions of the soils and adjust the conditions of the soils by adjusting the level of water in the reservoir. Behind me we have a smoking shelter. This smoking shelter has got living walls on it and a green roof. This is to showcase how you might utilise this technology for bush shelters as well as smoking shelters throughout the city. It just makes the space a nice place to be. In addition to that we have a living wall which is self-irrigated from water stored elsewhere in the rain garden. Water enters the planters via a rain chain. The water enters the high level planters first and then cascades into the low level planters over a weir, such that we can always maintain different levels of water in the high and low planters. The water then, if there's anything left, is discharged into Area A. So in Area A we have an overlay water managed solution. This is to showcase how you can incorporate green infrastructure in places where you might have an existing tree or services, so you can implement green infrastructure entirely on top of the existing ground. In this area there was no excavation, it was simply a vegetation strip, and then a water managed pad, self-irrigating pad, was installed directly on the ground, and then 200mm of topsoil was put on that, followed by planting. This area is irrigated from the water from the planters, so water enters this area via a suds rill, which is made up of gabion baskets and stainless steel edgings to hold water to create a visual feature, which then cascades into the irrigation pad, which holds water like a sponge and passively releases it slowly. In this area we have soil moisture sensors and perforated irrigation pipes. These can be batch fed, so if the soil moistures sense a slightly dry soil, we can batch water through the drip lines using water stored in other areas of the rain garden, contain mini rain garden. This rain garden is fed directly from the downpipe, which enters the rain garden through a gabion basket, which allows the water to filtrate through the soils. The rain garden holds water up to a predetermined level, which is set by an overflow pipe. Once the water reaches that level, it overflows into a soakaway beneath. This is more of a traditional rain garden approach, full of aquatic plants. So here we have areas B and C. Both areas B and C are built on a shallow tank, which is an 85mm permavoid raft, which holds up to 80ml of water. Again, this has the passive irrigation technology, so it has material that acts like a sponge to absorb water and make it available to the soils above. In Area B, on top of the tank, we have a permeable block paved area, which creates a great amenity space whilst remaining permeable, so water can enter the tank directly through the block paving into the top of the tank. We also have a suds tree pit here, which has built-in irrigation and attenuation volume. The tree pit is fed directly from the downpipe, the clear downpipe. Once the tree pit reaches a certain level, it overflows into the permavoid raft. So we're always ensuring the tree receives enough water before cascading into the permavoid raft. Around the tree pit we also have various planting, which is demarcated by a stainless steel upstand. Here we have Area C, which is also built on the same permavoid raft. In this area we have lots of planting and turf, but we also have a pond. a shallow safety pond, which is essentially filled with a voided structure which is topped by about 25mm of water for safety reasons. The pond is filled directly from the downpipe through a small sprinkler head, such that when it rains it actually acts as a water fountain. There are soil moisture sensors and water level monitors across the entire site at various locations. These sensors and monitors send real-time data every 2 minutes to our cloud-based software, where clients can log in and view the information at real time. On the same portal we can actually adjust the parameters. We can batch irrigate certain amounts of water. We can turn valves off if we want to purposefully dry out certain areas of soil. So this is really to help with the research aspect of the rain garden. When we want to send water to any particular area of the rain garden, we send it from the central control chamber. This chamber firstly sends harvested rainwater, so the water stored in the permavoid beneath areas B and C is used as an irrigation reservoir, such that if there is an area where in particular the soil moisture is particularly dry, this system will pump water, harvested water, directly to that site at a predetermined amount. This chamber also has a mains water backup, such that in a catastrophic event we can always use fresh water to top up any area of the rain garden. All amounts of water are measured with flow meters, so we can get an exact measurement of the amount of water used, whether it's harvested water or fresh mains water. The rain garden is split into 4 different areas, which is actually demarcated by the 4 downpipes. We replaced the existing downpipes with 4 new, innovative, unique downpipes. So we've actually got a rain chain, and then we've got 3 clear downpipe sections, one of which has a water wheel to show the flow of water, one of which is like a rainwater harvesting downpipe, which acts similar to a water butt, and then the final downpipe is actually part of the water fountain. So that fills up with water to create head, which then drives the water down to create the sprinkler effect. The entire rain garden was designed with amenity and integration with the public in mind at all times, which is why on the deck area we have the raised planters with edible plants in, so they're good for people to sit on and maybe to enjoy some of the edibles. Also in areas B and C we've got the permeable block paving to make the space accessible all year round. The partially submerged, partially raised tree pit is actually an ideal seat height for people to sit on, enjoy the space, maybe even do some work, as we have some integrated charging points for charging personal devices. We also have a small bench for people to enjoy the Peel Park views. In each area of the site we have monitoring points. Similar to this in the tree pit as an example, we have small chambers to house the monitoring points. So here we have a soil moisture sensor for the tree pit, and each of these lids are easily accessible at all times. As mentioned previously, we can batch irrigate any part of the site, so we can send harvested water to various points to top up the soil moisture. So in small chambers such as this one, we have solenoid valves and flow meters, so that we can remotely open valves to allow water in, remotely close them and measure the exact amount of water sent to the area. Around the outside of the deck we have climbing ivy climbing up the handrail, actually the edge restraint. This is just another way in which we can incorporate green infrastructure. We've also got an information board with a green roof on top.